I'm Margolis. I'm the Community Health Navigator for Charles Drew Health Center. Our message is simple, but critical. Screening saves lives. The American Cancer Society estimates that there are about 12,360 new cases of invasive cervical cancer diagnosed in 2014. Sadly, about 4,020 women will die from this preventative disease. We know invasive cervical cancer can be prevented with early detection through recommended cervical cancer screening. At Charles Drew Health Center, we are committed to ensuring all of the women in our community ages 21 to 64 are screened for cervical cancer. Here to discuss cervical cancer in more depth is Dr. Renesa Anthony.
Cervical cancer is one of two women-specific cancers that we can screen for in the 21st century. The other one's breast cancer, which gets a lot of attention, and the one that we're talking about today is cervical cancer. Cancer of the cervix is that part of the vagina. It's actually at the back of the vagina, the end of the vagina, the part of the female reproductive tract that dilates to about 10 centimeters before you push the baby out of the womb or the uterus. You can have cancer in all different parts of the female reproductive tract, and the only one that we have a screening test for is cervical cancer. Human papillomavirus, or HPV, is a very common virus. In fact, over 80% of women will contract this virus, and the great thing is that most women will go on to clear it. For those that do not, HPV can cause abnormalities in the cervix, and I say abnormalities because these abnormalities happen long before they transform into cancer. And that's why it's really important to come in and get your Pap test as recommended, because we can catch any dysplasia, any abnormalities in your cervix long before it becomes cancerous. And that way we can ensure that no woman, especially in the United States, ever has to be diagnosed with invasive cervical cancer. What are signs? Sometimes there are no signs. So it really depends on your age. For women who are postmenopausal, meaning they don't bleed anymore, if you see any type of bleeding, spotting, please come in and see your provider. It is abnormal under all circumstances. It may be cervical cancer, but it might be another cancer that we might be concerned about. If you're not postmenopausal and you have a period every month, or you are still reproductive age, you may not have signs or symptoms at all, which is why it's really important to come in and get your Pap test. We have a vaccine, and that vaccine is going to save the lives of most kids that were born past 1995. For women my age and women a little bit older, prevention is the key. You have to get in, you have to be diagnosed early so that it never progresses into invasive cervical cancer. Now I say that because cancer is not cancer is not cancer. If you had to choose a cancer, cervical cancer might be one of the ones that you would want, because the time that it takes for, say, those abnormal cells that I talked about to transform into cancer, you're looking at probably a decade or more. It's like driving, I think, if you were to drive from Maine all the way to California. We would be able to catch you in Nebraska, or we'd be able to catch you in Michigan long before you arrived in California, where you would have that diagnosis of invasive cervical cancer. So for some, that vaccine's gonna prevent it. For others, early detection will equal an early cure and definitely not a death diagnosis. When you come to Charles Drew, you can expect respect, you can expect confidentiality and privacy, and you can expect that you'll be treated with respect and treated with care and given the utmost medical attention when you're here. What I love the most is that we have so many programs to help people to really address any health concern, but really things that are focused on prevention. So we're talking about cervical cancer, and I love that we have Every Woman Matters, so that there's no excuse for any woman who, whether they can afford it or not get screened for cervical cancer, and as well as breast cancer. Our mission rocks. We take care of any and everyone who walks through our doors. We don't turn people away, and we offer care from eye services to Pap test. What I do love is that for people who may have challenges in actually paying for services or getting care, we have amazing people here that can find services. When it comes to Pap tests, we have programs that if you have insurance or you don't, you can get a Pap test at no cost to you. And that makes me very proud and a happy physician here.
We know getting screened can be challenging. As your community health navigator, I am dedicated to compassionately work with you to address any concerns or barriers you may have. I am committed to helping you make your medical appointments, address assurance and financial concerns, assist you with your transportation needs, help you gain access to care, and connect you to other community-based health and social service programs. To acknowledge and support you for your effort, Charles Drew Health Center has an exciting incentive program designed to reward you for getting screened and referring your friends to get screened. By completing a screening at Charles Drew Health Center, you'll be entered at random in a drawing for a $25 gift card. For referring a friend or family member, you will also be entered to win at random a massage or manicure. Thank you, Dr. Anthony, for your time and your dedication to help reduce cervical cancer in our community.